Hello fellow YouTubers, today I'm going to be reviewing my custom-made Transformers Prime Predacons Rising Megatron Unicron figure. Now, some people referred to Megatron Unicron as Galvatron, even though he doesn't look much like him, and just like in the Bayverse, we've seen a Decepticon named Galvatron, which was also known as Megatron, but he didn't look like the original G1 Generation 1 Galvatron. This could also be the version of Galvatron from Transformers Prime. I might be wrong. I might be right, but I call him Megatron Unicron because that's what I grew to know him as. They just referred to him as Unicron or something like that, or Megatron. I mean, in the show, they were just joking. I think Smokescreen said that in the show, but for the figure, I think he's really cool. I wanted to make something of him. It's basically Unicron and Megatron's body, taking possession of his body. So I did use the original the Megatron mold of the Commander class Cyberverse Megatron figure, and I think I did a pretty good job. Now, I've been trying to make this guy properly for years now, ever since the movie came out, and I think I got a pretty good one now. I'm satisfied with this one. Now, everything, like the paint, might not be 100% accurate, but I think it makes it look more authentic in ways, because not everything's perfect, such as, like, every streak of the paint on the character. Like, he had a lot of little, like, pieces on him. I didn't really make those because I thought it would have made him look terrible, but as you can see down here on the feet, I kind of just made that weathered look to him. I don't know, I like the way I detailed it. As you can see, he has like the little weapons, his dark Energon weapons. I don't know what they were called, but basically when Unicron was in Megatron's body, he used these weapons, and they were pretty sick. So here we have I'm just going to call them Dark Energon, and then whatever weapon they are. Here's the Dark Energon hammer. I custom made this. I used a piece of one of the missiles, and it had the same fit for the arm. So then I just built this base. I used the base of a toothpaste bottle, and then I glued around it, and then I made this with the glue gun. I forged all these little spike pieces. They're not sharp, which is kind of safer, but I think it's still pretty cool. As you can see, I also made this gun. I just basically used one of the Energon hooks. Same for this weapon, and then I just coated over it. As you can see, you could kind of see the weapon right here, showing, I don't know, it might not be too familiar now that the weapons changed, but you can change the weapons around for some. I'll try some, but some of them don't work with some spots, like one-handed doesn't work, but there's a peg here still from the original Megatron, so you could just peg it in like that, and voila. So really cool. You can also raise the arms. They have articulation, like the original one. The original Megatron figure, the articulation's still there. Sadly, the transformation, I know people are big on the transformation of Transformer figures. Some people say, oh, if it doesn't transform, it's not a Transformer. But I personally don't care if they transform or not. Maybe when I was a little kid, but now I really I'm more into the detail of the Transformers rather than the transformation. As you can see, I made this first out of clay, first foil, then clay, and then I used Play-Doh. Play-Doh is actually a lot easier to work with, but for some spots that were really, really thin, such as his eyebrows, I had to re-sculpt his eyebrows because I felt leaving the original eyebrows would make him look too simple or simplified. I kind of try to coat those double eyebrow look to him. As you can see, he has like double eyebrows right there on both of his eyes. I don't know if it's double eyebrows. It wouldn't be 4 eyebrows, but it's like he has 2 eyebrows, but it has like a extra layer over it. And the show, if you search it, it'll be more clear probably. But I still like it a lot. I had to use adhesive glue. I waited for it to dry a little bit, and then I kind of got my fingers sticky and just forged it together. And then voila, I glued and stuck right onto the figure. Thought it was really cool. So, yeah, really cool as well. You can put the original Megatron Sword in here. I'll just remove the hammer for now. So, I did have, first of all, before I get into the other weapon, but before everything, I had to, well, one of my last stages, I had to remove the original arms because they were broken. And it's very common for those to be broken. but then I just used Megatron. I had to use Predacons. I had a leftover Predacon figure, and I just cut off his arms. That one was broken, and I have a new one already. But I bought the figures. It's all new. It's all new figure that I have of him now. So really cool. I'm glad I have a new one. But I put some good use to the old one. Now these arms stuck together pretty good to the original to the Megatron mold. And as well, I used Twin Strike's feet. I have a new one too as well, but I used the feet of Twin Strike. And this figure I think is a lot better in comparison with the original or Megatron Unicron figure we got. All they gave us was a simple repaint, which looks like this. It's not even the real accurate color schemes, which kind of disappoints me. But it's fine, and look at how much shorter he is. This one looks a lot more taller, or a little bit more taller and more strong than this one. It's a cool mold of Megatron, but it's a rare mold now. Like, it costs like $90 on eBay, but yeah, I wouldn't pay for it for that much. And it was only released in the UK. I think they ran out of time, but I personally recommend making a custom if you're, I don't know, but if you're a collector like me and have to collect every single one, then do that. But I think they're both very, very cool figures. As well, another comparison, here he is next to Starscream. Now, Starscream's supposed to be a little bit shorter. I don't know why he appears taller right here. He looks shorter on the camera or the angle I'm looking at, but just getting him to lean a little bit more forward. He's a little bit bigger, but when you get the other Megatron in, then he looks shorter than Starscream. Like, I'll get a comparison really quick. So, putting this Megatron in, he's shorter than Starscream, but this one's about the same size or a little bit bigger from my view. But these wings are the ones that make the things that make him look bigger, but I think it looks better. It's a better scale. Now I try to customize the Optimus Prime figure too as well. In my previous review, I reviewed him, but as you can see, he's here again. I added some finishing touches, but still a little bit shorter, but might upgrading him a bit more afterwards. But I did mostly, that's most of him complete. I added some details to the chest and then also to the hands and stuff and to the minigun again. But still really cool figures. I like them. They don't transform, but they are really cool. And I did make the Dark Energon or the Dark Star Saber for Megatron, but I think it looks cool in this version of Megatron as well. So I just decided to make it. You could always swap it out. I used the base of this originally was a Q-tip or a air cleaner, but it wasn't used, so don't worry about that. It was new in the cupboard, but all I did was coat glue around it and it fit right in. So really great peg for the figure. So moving on, we have the back. Not the highest of details, but you can move his arms back still. Like the original, a little bit stiffer, but just for some different poses, sort of. His legs have the same articulation, a little bit stiffer, but yeah, this ball joint articulates still as well. This one's a little bit stiffer up here, but still cool. I know his legs are supposed to be closer in the actual show or TV animation movie or whatever it is called, but the Predacons Rising movie, I'll just call it that. But this one I had to make it a few changes and upgrades to make it function sort of like a Cyberverse figure. It doesn't transform, but still, yet again, I'm satisfied with it. So here's the top. You can see he has that metal crown that's like a horn. So really cool. Zooming in on the face again. Has the original Megatron face. It's just a little bit bulkier, because in the film it's like that. It's more armored like the rest of the body. So really cool figure. I really like it a lot. Very satisfied with it for now. I think it looks really cool. It looks a lot better in person. Trust me. This camera sometimes gives me a lot of problems. First, I thought it was a camera. I was all excited because in my first video I said, "Oh, it's very easy to focus with it. It's not going to have the same problems as my other camera." And a few days later, bop, there it goes. I had to keep refocusing it constantly because it goes out of focus, and I can't find a setting for it on this phone. So I guess Samsungs aren't my type of deal. So, might switch to iPhone one day. Don't know. Might use a GoPro to do something. I have a GoPro, but transferring it's a lot of work. Takes time, but if it's gonna be for a better video quality, then it's worth it. So that was it for the Megatron Unicron custom figure. Just adding the final touches or the details. You just put on the weapons again that make him look more tougher, I'd say, or stronger. But just putting the hammer and the weapons I had in the beginning of the video on him again. Personally, like these weapons better. He did have one more weapon. It was like a spear, like a spear or something he threw at the ship Wheeljack was driving. I think it was Ultra Magnus's, but they were driving it because Optimus and Wheeljack went to retrieve the Allspark. But really cool figure still. I'm really happy about it. I know the movie came out a long time ago, but I'm really happy with the figure, the way it came out. It works, I think, for my Cyberverse collection. So just adding in one little figure. So here's Bumblebee. So Bumblebee might be supposed to be a little bit taller, but I think it's a pretty good size. So thank you guys again for watching the video on my custom-made Transformers Prime Predacons Rising Megatron Unicron figure. I'll be doing more videos soon. I might do an upgraded video on this guy eventually, so thanks again for watching.